you're going to need Cisco AnyConnect. So definitely try and install it. Can you guys see the bottom of my screen, the taskbar? Down here at the bottom, there's something that looks like a baseball. That's the icon for Cisco AnyConnect. So I'm going to log in right now to the FIU network. So what appears for everybody once you've installed it is vpn.fiu.edu, and it says it's ready to connect. When I click on connect, it's going to bring up a login screen. Once you've installed Cisco AnyConnect, this username should be your university username that you use in your email. I'm going to put, and then you put your university password in here. And then the first time you use it, in this second password, you type SMS and you click OK. And when you do that, it will send a group of 10 passcodes to your phone, assuming that you registered your phone when you installed Cisco AnyConnect. So what I do is, when it comes to my phone, I then email it to myself. I take a picture of it with my phone camera. I put it on screen because it comes as a text message. I put it on screen, I take a picture, I email it to myself, I print it out, and then if you can see this, those are all the numbers, and I just keep them next to me, and every time I use one, I scratch it out, because you can only use, you can't reuse any of these numbers. You use them once, and then that's the end of it. So that's what I do. You can invent your own, in this case, you can invent your own technique. Did somebody just try to log into YouTube? Did any of you just try to log into YouTube? No, I got a blocking message on my phone. Anyway, so I'm gonna put in one of these passcode numbers. Okay, and then this will come up and accept the terms. And now I'll be logged into the FIU network, which means, among other things, that if I want to go to my FIU, if you want to look at your grades, if you want to do anything, you're logged into the network. So it's just like being at school. Okay, so when the way you're going to gain access to the Inspicio WordPress account is that I'm going to register each of you as an associate editor. And when I do that, it's going to create an account for you, and it will automatically email you a really gargantuan password, which you have to use the first time you log into WordPress, but you can change the password to something you can remember later. So I'm going to this is the WordPress login page, and I think this is in an email I've already sent you, but it will, with the instructions for how to get in here, but it's inspicio.fiu.edu/WP-login. And then I'm putting in my login. And log in. And these are all the posts that we have for the whole magazine. You're not going to be able to touch anything except the ones that you create yourself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, Julio, are you on this, are you there? Julio? Anyway, he's working on an actress named Lana Gordon. I'm going to use that as an example. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to all posts, which is where we are, but I'll click on it anyway. And then you go to add new. Okay, you can see there's nothing there. If you go back to, you can download this if you want. By the way, you can download all these resource materials that we have in OneDrive, which wouldn't be a bad idea. So I'm going back to the resource materials. And under WordPress, there's an Inspicio post template. You guys see that? So I'm going to open it up. And this is the code for a video interview that we created that the interviewees didn't like it. So we never published it. And if you just put your cursor anywhere on this page, and if you're on a PC, click on Control A for Control All, or if you're on a Mac, Command A for all, and you'll highlight all the text. If you're on a PC, hit Control C for copy, or on a Mac, Command C. And then go back to the WordPress account, the new post that you just created. You guys are watching this, right? And hit Command V if you're on a Mac, or Control V, and it'll post the code for our format. So this is the format for, this is the actual post for something called the New Deco Ensemble. You're going to have to go in and change the text for whoever you're doing. In this case, we're doing Lana Gordon. And you're going to have to write a bio for Lana Gordon. It's okay to copy and paste something from Wikipedia. What I recommend you do when you put in a bio is do it in a Word file first and send it to me for editing. So I'm not going to have to edit it in WordPress. Make sense? So just send a bio for whoever you're doing. If they have a website, who are you doing, Amelia?
Alexandra Cardino.
Yeah, I think she's got a website, so you can probably, or maybe I've already sent you her bio text, but just, send me, look for her. You'll find some bio material. If the person's more famous, you'll find it in Wikipedia. And since we run all this by the interviewee anyway, if they want to change their bio and give us something more up to date, that's fine. Okay. So you're going to have to do that. The first thing to do is to create a title and save it. So we're going to do Lana Gordon. And you remember the name? Oh, he's not on here. Hold on. Can't remember the name of the character she plays. So Lana Gordon is Lil Hardin. So I'm gonna make that the title for now. So Lana. I'm gonna make it as Lil Hardin. And then periodically you should save it. So this is going to now save this as a new post draft. Okay, so in our format, the first thing we always have is a introduction video. See if I've got. I don't have our YouTube channel open yet, so I'm going to go to generic YouTube. And I can see I've already signed in as Inspicio. The first time you go to sign into YouTube, you're going to be blocked. It's going to send a message to me. I'm going to clear you. And then the next time you go in, you'll see the Inspicio logo up here in the right-hand corner. You click on that. Sorry. And you click on your channel. And then if you click on videos, you'll see all the videos that we've uploaded. If you click on playlists, you'll see our playlist. If you're creating a WordPress page, presumably you've created a playlist on the YouTube channel. So the easiest way to do this is to work with the playlist. So I'm going to click on View Full Playlist for Lana Gordon. And the first thing, when you're, I've told all of you to make your introduction last, because do the other video clips first. But we're already ready to go with this, so I'm going to click on Lana Gordon. So this is the introduction to Lana Gordon. You click on Share, and then click on Copy. I'm going back to WordPress. You click on this video player and click on the pencil for edit. Now I'm going to paste Command V or Control V, the URL. Now on the bottom right, insert into post. And there's Lana Gordon, her introduction. Now, if any of you are like to work in Photoshop and are good at it and consider yourself a decent designer, in the we always create a custom freeze frame for the introduction. So if we go back to this introductory video, and I click on Edit Video, they always have 3 default freeze frames here. But you can upload something that you've created. So if we look at Mark Leibovich, for example, this is the freeze frame I created for the introduction. So it's an image from the video, and I did a screen capture, and a lot of times I'll go through the videos and look for a frame that looks really good of them, and maybe capture as many as 10 of them in case I need to swap out freeze frames where the default freeze frames, they look weird in all of them. So sometimes you're going to need to have a picture that you capture as a screen capture. So I take the picture of him from the interview, and then over it, I put a little montage of some of his books. And I just went online. In this case, he's an author, so I searched for, and he's also on MSNBC a lot. So I searched for images of him in Google, and I did screen captures. These freeze frames, the dimensions are 1280 pixels by 720 pixels, 1280 wide by 720 tall. That's the YouTube dimensions for the videos that we use. So this whole image is, which I brought into Photoshop, is 1280 by 720. And then generally speaking, it works out that all these little thumbnails that I add to it of images from that person's career, they usually wind up about being around 400 pixels wide. And I put them, each one of them, into a layer so I can overlap them. And I try to, this is where you can use your creativity to try and make something that looks good, as opposed to just butting them one against the other. And so this is kind of the standard format we use for all of it. And part of the reason I always put the little montage on the right is that if they're going to be on the home page, which most people are, you'll see that this screen here with like a paragraph about the person and the title of the post appears in this transparent black box, which appears over, it always appears in this space over on the right side. So if you put something else in there instead of the montage, if the person's face was in there, this thing would be right over their face. So when I'm positioning, when I'm creating this default screen freeze frame for the introduction video, what I do in Photoshop is I just draw a guideline down the middle of the 1280 space. So in other words, at 640 pixels. And I make sure the person's head is always to the left of 640 pixels. Anybody got any questions about that? Nope. Great. So we've put the introduction video in. Somebody has to still make a freeze frame for this introduction. And it's always going to say introduction to whoever the person is. I don't know if I've saved this yet. When you're creating the text, so this is all text about the new Deco ensemble. At the bottom is a standard 2 sentences that go to the bottom of every text section of the web page. The videos below are organized by topic and run between 30 seconds and 5 minutes. Those numbers will vary based on the videos that you've created. You may not have anything less than a minute. So in this case, it would be they run between a minute and let's say 7 minutes or whatever the reality is. And then click on any video. You must be connected to the internet to view the video. So you want to make sure that you can copy and paste this text from any video interview page on our website. But it's also going to be there in the template as it is right now. Okay, I'm going to do the next one. So the next one is going to be Lana Gordon 1. So because we're taking this from a playlist, we were editing this. So you have to go back. If you have to edit something, you gotta click the back button. And you'll see that on the right here is the playlist, which makes it easy for you to go from one video to the next. So I'm just going to click on Lana Gordon 2. And this is the same screen that all of you have created, I'm guessing. What was your first awareness of art of any discipline? Or where were you born and what is your first? The only reason I didn't say where were you born in this case is because in the introductory video, she says I was born in New York City. So, or wherever she was born, I actually don't remember where, but she tells you where you were born. So I'm not going to repeat that over again because she's already said it. Another thing to notice, when you're creating this page, when you're in Premiere and you're creating this page, you want to make sure that you're leaving enough time for the audience to read the question. So what I always do is read it out loud and then add 1, 2 at the end of it. So what was your first awareness of art of any discipline? 1, 2.
Question, do you want that question in particular, like the question when we read the question, do you want it to merge into the video like that?
Yes, they are. Okay, so I've shown this. This is in the creation guide, and I've shown this. I'm not blaming you for asking the question. I'm glad you're asking the question. But I've shown this a couple of times that I've demonstrated how to create these in Premiere. So the text block for the question, when you have that on the timeline, you highlight it, and on a PC, you hit Control D in Premiere or Command D on a Mac, and it automatically puts fade transitions at either end of the text block. And you do the same thing for the video block. You highlight the video block and hit Control D or Command D. And so that gives you in fact, the beginning here is black because I put that Command D in there. That's the transition. So you'll see that the text fades up instead of just being there, in your face. And now you'll see it fades out, fades into her. And that'll happen automatically. Okay.
I had a question, Professor.
Yep.
I tried the Command D, but mine automatically put cross dissolve, and I had to look for like something more like dip to black because the cross dissolve was not looking too good when I was going through the video.
If you can, I don't know what this one's called even. I just learned, I taught myself to use Premiere, as I keep saying, in one day using Linda, which is now LinkedIn Learning, an FIU. So when I saw that, I didn't memorize every name of the different transitions or anything like that. I said, I like fade from black into the screen, and I like fade to black at the end. Let's just be consistent throughout. So let's not come up with like a different set of transitions for every video interview. So I don't.
Right. So
I can. So wait. So
setting,
let me just finish. So I don't even know what this one I'm using is called. I don't know if it's called cross dissolve or what it's called. But the goal is to, have the fades from and to black. What version of Premiere do you have?
I don't know. I just I have the suite, so I guess whatever the updated version is.
Okay, so do you think you have the newest one?
Yeah, I think so, because it's automatically updated every, as I have it. I've had it for a few years. But I noticed
the reason I ask that is because the fades the keystrokes commands might have changed, with new additions, which would really drive me crazy if that's true, because this is so easy to do it this way. But you already posted your stuff, right? You did
right.
You did the
yeah, I posted
filmmakers.
all of that. Just for, I guess, anyone else, what I do when I'm in the workspace, I expand the workspace where what I'm working on is wider, so you're able to see what effect you're actually putting. The name is on it the more you zoom in. But if it's like not expanded, you can't really see it. So that's how come I knew it was cross dissolve, because it didn't look right when I pressed play. So that's when I zoomed in, saw what it was, and then I just looked for
and so what did it do when you pressed play?
It did this depixelated thing. It didn't.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't what you do, so that's why I took it out and I just looked for dip to black. Only because I'm familiar with it. I taught myself with YouTube, so that's how come I noticed it right away. But I just looked for under effects. I just typed in dip to black, and then I put that in instead.
Oh,
so
okay.
I guess for anyone who has that issue, they
Okay.
I guess you'll see their first edit, and then you'll notice if it's the wrong effect.
Yeah. Well, when I looked at yours looked fine. So, whatever you did, you got the same look to it, which is good. Okay, so I'm going to share this, copy the URL, go back to WordPress, paste it, Click on Insert into Post. And so this is Lana Gordon 1. Now, here is the thing that I cannot emphasize enough. So everybody, please pay attention, because already people have not done this right. And it's the one thing that will help prevent unforced errors, as Angel would like to say, from basketball, or for baseball, I mean. So this is the Lana Gordon video log that Julio created. Now he actually, you see all this red stuff, which I don't think I put in anybody else's video log. It looks like I'm pissed off, but I'm not. What happened here was he captured the right clip, but the interviewee was either her answer wasn't very good, it wasn't worth putting into the into the interview on the website, or sometimes it was like incoherent, and it was because her mind goes in a bunch of different directions at the same time. So that's what those reds are. But the key thing here is these video logs, which I have approved and sent back to you. First of all, it's the questions are exactly the way I want them, and they've been spell checked. Sometimes I screw up and there's some grammatical errors or there's typos of different kinds, but I'm like 95% accurate when I get them back to you. So what you want to do is, for the question, which goes at the bottom of each video screen, you want to copy from the video log to WordPress. So you just highlight the cell in the video log and go up to the top here and highlight the text and hit Command C or Control C, and then go back to the to WordPress, and then down below here where the this is, you see it says box type equals shadow, and there's box at the end, that's the code, and in between are the words that are going to appear in that box. And so you highlight those that are in the template, which are from New Deco, and you paste in the text from the video log, which is either Control C or Command C. Okay, what was your first awareness of art of any discipline? And then the other part, you want to look at the video and see what the total time of it is. In this case, it's 1 minute and 10 seconds. So you're going to change the elapsed time to 110. Now, if this was 39 seconds, you would change it so it's 0:39 SEC period. And then this is the success factor. So you're going to go back to the video log. And again, I've reviewed all these success factors and decided which one works best. So in this case, for this question, it's number 13, which is develop a voice. So you go up to the top of the page, and you click on develop a voice, and it comes up with the number. You don't want the number, you want just develop a voice. It's in all caps. Again, copy and paste. I'm going to highlight serendipity and hit Control V or Command V. So it's develop a voice. I'm going to save this. The point here is never retype any of this stuff. Every time somebody retypes instead of copying and pasting, I guarantee you there will be typos. So I'm going to now click on preview. And you don't need this thing, the color example. When the preview comes up, I just exit out and it never appears again. So Lana Gordon is Lil Hardin. There's our intro video, which you can play. We still got all the new deco stuff in it. And there's our Lana Gordon one. Any questions about this?